Hey guys, Josh with Carl's Mower and Saw, and as you know, one of my favorite pieces of equipment to use to mow my lawn with is a California Trimmer reel mower. Twice a week, I mow my lawn at the shop. Twice a week, I mow my lawn at home with a California Trimmer reel mower. And the big difference between a reel mower and a standard rotary mower is a rotary mower spinning this blade at roughly 18,000 feet per minute is simply whacking off the grass. It is high speed, hopefully sharp enough, and just more of a tear than a cut. Well, a reel mower, as you know, or may not know, cuts more like a scissors. Can you hear that in my microphone? That's how a reel mower is cutting. What we have on a reel mower is the reel right here with these blades. This is a 5-blade reel. And then on the bottom is what's called a bed knife. So this reel is rotating, spinning forward, and it comes across this bed knife and cuts more like a scissors, a much cleaner, crisper cut. Leads to a healthier lawn and a beautiful looking finished cut. Somebody recently asked me, how do I sharpen that? Or do you recommend sharpening the reel, and how do you go about it? Well, I'll back up. My initial response in my brain was like, I'm not gonna show you how to do it because I'm not an expert. I've done it. I've done it multiple times. I've also failed multiple times. So I want to be very careful as I talk to somebody about how to lap, which is what it's called. That's how most people are sharpening the reel, is called lapping. How to lap a reel. I'm not going to come in as an expert. I'm not going to give you everything you need to do. It is the way to properly sharpen a California Trimmer reel mower, but it may not be something that you can handle yourself. If you go on the California Trimmer website, you will see this right here, this kit. They sell what's called grinding compound, 80 grit. They sell an adapter for your drill, and they sell a paintbrush. Here's kind of what the adapter looks like. This adapter right here is going to hook on the sprocket that's spinning the reel. So to get there, we have to take off the cover on the right-hand side, remove the chain. Now that reel is free to spin. We then are going to paint on this compound, and we're going to spin it backwards. Before we do that, before we waste time on that, because a lot of people will waste time on that, is we want to check and see how this California Trimmer is actually cutting. So I normally go for 3 pieces of paper. If you're really good, you can get down to 1, okay? I think an acceptable is about 7. So we've got 3 pieces of paper here. And what I do is I flip it up like this, and I come and I spin the reel. You see that? Just sliced right through that. So we know, and I'm going to do it across the reel in different spots to make sure it's cutting well. So we know this one is cutting crisp. So the first thing to do is to check, do I need to sharpen this? Do I need to lap this? Do I need to adjust it? There's the key. Do I need to adjust it? Often we don't need to sharpen, we just need to adjust. But your kindergarten scissors at school, right? They had a gap in them. They didn't cut very well. We need a scissors to make contact. So this reel needs to make contact with the bed knife. So the first step is to make sure that it's properly adjusted. To do that, we do again need to remove this cover on the side, and there are 3 bolts or screws to loosen, and same on this side. See, 1, 2, 3. This side, the bolts thread into the reel holder. This side, it is a bolt and nut. So I need 2 wrenches on this side. I need 1 wrench on this side. And I'm simply going to loosen those reel holders. And then I'm going to take a screwdriver or a punch or a chisel, actually. I'm going to tap it with a hammer, and I'm going to bring the reel into the bed knife. Now you got to be careful that you don't go way more on the left side versus the right side. You got to be careful that you don't go too tight. Right? So there's a little bit of a trick. And this is when I talk about lapping and sharpening, is people end up adjusting wrong, and they end up wearing their reel way more on one side or their bed knife way more on the other side, for example. So adjustment is the first step. Most people, they can get away with 1 or 2 adjustments per year and an annual lapping or sharpening. Most people that we deal with at Carl's bring it in to have us do it. They're just more comfortable. Even the commercial guys that mow with these multiple lawns every day, they just have found that they are not as good at lapping as we are. And so I would just warn you, go ahead, you can try it, but I would warn you, you got to be careful on how you approach it. Let's take a look at this lapping compound, this 80 grit, and what we have. Mess is coming. See this? So what this is, I mean, I'm sure it's an oil or some sort of lubricant, and it's almost like sandy metal grit. And as that is painted on these blades and spun backwards, it kind of self-sharpens. So it cleans up the edge. The same thing happens if you properly adjust this. If you keep this reel adjusted to the proper tightness, it will, in a way, self-sharpen. As soon as the scissors separates, those blades get rounded, right? So keeping it properly adjusted, and then plan on an annual refresh through lapping it. Hey, if you like, go ahead and order that kit off Cal Trimmer. It works. Give it a try. Maybe it's the right way for you to do it. If you're not comfortable or you want to trust somebody who's done hundreds and hundreds of these, who knows how to get them dialed in right to get the most out of your machine, I'd go and bring it to an expert. There you go. Now you know a little bit more about how a reel cuts and how to maintain it. For more tips, tricks, and information on California Trimmer reel mowers, we'll see you soon at Carl's Mower and Saw.